Good morning, America. Trump transition. The once and future president announcing more administration picks as opposition to some of his choices builds. The growing number of Republicans who want to see the report from the congressional investigation of Matt Gaetz. Will it come down to a subpoena? Plus, reaction from the medical community on Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and his positions on public health.
Panic on the plane. Evacuate. Fire on an airliner. The rush for the exit. How it started as another Southwest plane is struck by gunfire overnight.
Murder trial underway in a case that's been at the center of the national debate on immigration. An undocumented migrant charged with killing a 22-year-old Georgia nursing student. The last images of Laken Riley and the new details on her death.
Mother arrested, handcuffed and charged after her 10-year-old son was found walking to a store by himself.
Anytime I checked, it wasn't illegal for a kid to walk to the store.
It is when they're 10 years old.
How she's fighting the charges.
Making wishes come true. A teenager in love with music gets the surprise of his life. The chance to record in a professional music studio, but that's not all.
Hey, somebody's here. Oh!
Collaborating with his musical idol.
So you're a tough guy, like you really rough guy.
And fight night, Mike Tyson returns to the ring. The former heavyweight champ taking on social media star turned boxer Jake Paul. The unanimous decision.
Live from ABC News in New York, this is Good Morning America.
Good morning, America. Happy Saturday. Thanks for starting your weekend with us. You guys didn't stay up late to watch that fight.
No. It was probably better for it.
Yeah, good. All right. A lot
we've got all the highlights.
We certainly do. A lot to talk about, including the wildfire threat in the Northeast. 43 million people under red flag warnings this weekend as drought conditions spark fires in a region that hasn't had a drought watch in decades.
And the countdown to Turkey Day is on, so get that shopping list ready because we have some hot tips on where to find the best savings for the makings of your big family meal.
But we begin here with the Trump transition. The president-elect is rapidly filling positions for a second administration. But will some of his more controversial picks survive Senate scrutiny? ABC's Mary Alice Parks leads us off from Washington. Mary Alice, good morning.
Yeah, but good morning. There are real questions about whether some of Trump's picks will be able to make it through the Senate confirmation process. Senators making it clear they want more information about former Congressman Matt Gaetz in particular, who was nominated to be Trump's attorney general.
This morning, a growing number of Republican senators making it clear they want to see the House Ethics Committee report into Trump's pick for Attorney General Matt Gaetz. The bipartisan committee was investigating Gaetz for allegations of illicit drug use and sexual misconduct. Sources telling ABC a woman testified he had sex with her when she was only 17, and a lawyer representing another woman telling us his client testified she witnessed it. Gaetz calling the allegations invented and saying it would constitute false testimony to Congress.
I have not had a relationship with a 17-year-old. That is totally false.
Sources telling us the committee was preparing to vote to release that report as early as this week. But then Gaetz resigned from Congress after being nominated by Trump, abruptly ending their investigation. House Speaker Mike Johnson on Friday, after spending the night at Mar-a-Lago with President-elect Trump, arguing now the report should be shelved.
I believe it is very important to maintain the House's tradition of not issuing ethics reports on people who are no longer members of Congress.
Still, it is senators who have the constitutional power to consent or not to a president's picks, and several now saying they want to see what the House investigators found. Texas Senator John Cornyn even suggesting he's ready to issue a subpoena for it. Trump also filling out his West Wing team, announcing that his campaign's communications director, Stephen Chung, will come to the White House in that same role. Chung, who was with Trump during his first term too, is known for hurling insults at Trump's critics and often uses offensive language. Trump also choosing Caroline Leavitt from his campaign to be his press secretary. She is only 27 years old.
And we are also seeing increased concern from the medical community about the nomination of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to lead the Department of Health and Human Services. The American Academy of Pediatrics writing that the nomination was an opportunity to share the settled science on vaccines with government leaders as well as the American public. Kennedy, of course, is a well-known vaccine skeptic. Gio.
All right, Mary Alice, we know you'll keep following that. Thank you so much. Now to the wildfire threat in the Northeast. 43 million people under red flag warnings this weekend. And Samara Theodore is following that. Good morning, Samara. It's been a long week of wildfires.
And you know what? While there is the threat still looming, there's some good news. This is Sterling State Forest in New York. The Jennings Creek fire there that burned both in New York and New Jersey is now 90% contained. So that's good news. But just to give you a visual of how dry it really is in Ulster County, New York, the Shahari Reservoir only at 27% capacity, looking so dry and arid out there. What we need is rain. That's not coming just yet. We still have a red flag warning in place all the way from New England down to the mid-Atlantic. Extreme drought setting up in southern New Jersey. That sticks around. You know, we said earlier that it's been 22 years since they've seen the likes of that. Exceptional drought for parts of western Pennsylvania and Ohio. So where is this rain? When will it come? It's on its way. We got to wait a little bit longer. By Wednesday into Thursday, that's our next big rain chance in the Northeast. Janae?
All right, we certainly need it, Samara. Thank you. Now to the series of frightening scenes involving jetliners. The latest when a bullet struck a plane ahead of takeoff in Dallas. It comes after a passenger's cell phone battery caught fire in Denver. ABC's Zareen Shaw joins us with more. Zareen, good morning. These are frightening scenes.
They really are. And Janae, on the flight with the fire, one passenger said there were babies and young kids on the flight. She says everyone was screaming go, but there was nowhere to go. But that wasn't the only incident. The last few days, a series of terrifying issues in the air.
They think that somebody from outside the airport shot a firearm at the aircraft.
Overnight, a bullet striking a Southwest Airlines flight about to take off from Dallas Love Field Airport.
We'd like to return to the gate. Need to have an inspection done here on the aircraft.
The plane getting ready to depart for Indianapolis around 8:30 local time when officials say gunfire struck its right side near the cockpit. Police and fire officials rushing to the scene. The Boeing aircraft safely taxiing back to the gate where passengers deplaned. Thankfully, the airline saying no one was injured.
Evacuate!
It comes the same day as another terrifying moment aboard a Southwest Airlines flight. Passengers at Denver's airport forced to evacuate on slides after a cell phone battery caught fire.
A lot of people were just so panicked.
Catherine Rios was a few seats in front of the fire and says everyone suddenly was inhaling a lot of smoke.
Pretty much just kind of trapped. I couldn't do anything because I was surrounded by so many people.
Southwest Airlines saying the aircraft carrying 108 passengers was still at the gate when the battery caught fire Friday morning, causing the seat to catch fire from the burning phone. Crews quickly extinguishing the flames, but the passenger whose phone it was is being treated for burns, and another passenger suffered minor injuries while evacuating. And on that fire issue, there have been 59 incidents just this year relating to overheating on planes. You might have experienced this, a crew asking you if you have lithium batteries in your luggage when you check them in. This could be a good example of why those batteries can overheat.
Yeah, concerning scene. All right, Zareen, thank you. We turn now to a case that's been thrust into the center of a political debate over immigration. An undocumented immigrant now on trial, charged with the murder of 22-year-old nursing student Laken Riley in Georgia. ABC's Morgan Norwood has the latest. Morgan, good morning.
Hey, good morning to you, Ed. As you just pointed out, it's the trial that's become a flashpoint in the national debate over immigration. Both Democrats and Republicans seizing in on this case. Jose Ibarra, a Venezuelan migrant accused of thoughtfully planning out his attack. And from Laken's smartwatch, surveillance video to DNA, prosecutors say there's mounting evidence that ties him to the scene.
This morning, chilling testimony from the officer who found the body of nursing student Laken Riley.
I found it. Ma'am. Oh, I did EMS immediately. She's not breathing.
In the first day of the trial against Jose Ibarra, the court also shown the final moments of Riley as she headed out for a morning run she never returned from. Ibarra, an undocumented migrant from Venezuela, charged in her brutal killing in February along the University of Georgia running trail.
When Laken Riley refused to be his rape victim, he bashed her skull in with a rock repeatedly.
A chilling 911 call seeming to capture the struggle, played in court as Riley's grieving mother sobbed.
Hello, this is Clark County 911. Can anyone hear me? Prosecutors said Ibarra's DNA found underneath Riley's fingernails also proves that there was a struggle.
And then there's a surveillance video showing an individual who prosecutors say is Ibarra tossing a black jacket in a dumpster just 15 minutes after they say Lakin's heart stopped.
Jose Ibarra and Laken Riley's blood are on the jacket that he dumped in the dumpster.
The defense questioning the evidence and its validity early on.
The evidence that Jose Ibarra killed Laken Riley is circumstantial.
Ibarra pleading not guilty to murder, kidnapping, and a slew of other charges.
And Ibarra did waive his right to a jury trial, which means the judge is the sole fact finder who will determine his fate. Prosecutors have opted not to seek the death penalty. Still, Ibarra could spend the rest of his life in prison if convicted, Gio.
Such a troubling story. All right, Morgan, thank you. And the FBI is investigating a new round of offensive and racist text messages and emails, this time targeting Hispanic and LGBTQ+ groups, as well as high school students. Now, authorities say that the messages told recipients to report to a re-education camp or that they were selected for deportation. This comes after another round of messages were sent to black college students nationwide last week with racist messages referencing slavery. Janae.
All right, overseas now. President Biden is on the world stage today, meeting with China's Xi Jinping on the sidelines of the APEC summit in Peru. ABC's Alex Verche joins us now all the way from Lima. Good morning to you, Alex.
Hey, good morning, Janae. Yes, this morning, all eyes are on President Biden and China's President Xi Jinping as the two leaders meet for what will likely be Biden's last time in office. Now, this APEC summit has been a little bit of a swan song for Biden. The White House laying out a chief goal of this trip is to reassure the rest of the world of a smooth transition. A White House official also tells ABC News the two leaders are expected to discuss AI safety, climate change, and that China's alleged attempted hacking of cell phones during the 2024 campaign would likely come up. Now, on Friday, Biden met with South Korea's president and the prime minister of Japan. The trio spoke mostly about the growing threat of North Korea and its alliance with Russia. The leaders now considering military signs of force and possible sanctions. Tomorrow, Biden heads to Brazil's Amazon, which is a first for a U.S. president, to highlight climate change. He'll end in Rio de Janeiro for the G20 summit. Now, in his trilateral meeting yesterday, Biden did not mention President-elect Donald Trump by name, but here there is an awareness that U.S. foreign policy is about to shift with this new administration, especially with Trump threatening to increase tariffs. Whit.
All right, Alex Brochet, thank you. Now to the war in Ukraine and why Ukraine's president says it will end sooner with Donald Trump in the White House. ABC's Patrick Reevell is in Kyiv with more on what we're learning about new Russian drone attacks as well. Patrick, good morning.
Good morning, Whit. Yeah, there were widespread drone attacks across Ukraine last night, as there are almost every night now. We could hear loud anti-aircraft fire here in Kyiv. And it's clear here that Ukraine is preparing for possible negotiations to end the war once President-elect Donald Trump takes office. President Zelensky overnight saying that he believes the war will end faster now under Trump. But in new comments published this morning, Zelensky also warned that any negotiations where Ukraine isn't kept in a strong position will fail. Zelensky also suggesting that real negotiations can only begin once Trump is inaugurated. Now, many Ukrainians do hope that Trump is at least a chance to end this war, but there is deep anxiety about what they may have to give up. On the battlefield, Ukraine is in a precarious position at least two key points on the eastern front line. The Russians are slowly advancing, and what we are hearing from Ukrainian officials is that any ceasefire, in order for it to be acceptable to Ukraine, must give long-term defensive guarantees from Western countries. There's no doubt that any negotiations, when they eventually come to try to end this terrible war, will be extremely difficult. Gio.
Very difficult indeed. All right, Patrick, thank you so much for your reporting. And we're going to switch gears here. Back here at home, the countdown to Thanksgiving is on, and it is time to prep those shopping lists ahead of the family feast. And ABC's Alexis Christoforous has been adding up the best places to find some savings. Good morning, Alexis.
You bet. Good morning, guys. Hope you have your menu all set because it is just 12 days to go before Thanksgiving. And here's something to be thankful for: inflation-busting meal deals. Whether it's a pre-prepared dinner or ingredients to make your own feast, there are plenty of ways to save this year. Let's start with Target. So it's offering a $20 meal that is going to feed 4 people. That's $5 per person. You get a turkey up to 10 pounds, plus 6 other items, including gravy, potatoes, and string beans. Now, Amazon Fresh, I know, it's pretty good.
What a deal.
Amazon Fresh has got a basket of Thanksgiving groceries for 6 people at under $30 when you buy its private label brands. And get this, Prime members get an extra 10% off. Supermarket chain Lidl has a Thanksgiving meal kit that feeds 10 for under $45. And at $4.50 per person, it is the cheapest that we found out there. Besides the turkey, you get ingredients for the classics, of course, like stuffing and sweet potato casserole. And if you don't want to cook, you want to check out Sam's Club because its pre-cooked Thanksgiving meal for 10 is $100 delivered right to your door. You get a hickory smoked turkey and 6 sides, including my personal favorite, mac and cheese and a little pumpkin pie.
I am so glad you're doing this segment because really those are some amazing deals there.
For sure.
Let's talk about the star of the show, the turkey. How do you make sure you're getting the best deal?
There are some ways. What you want to do first is check the unit price. So that means check the price per pound. We did a little comparison shopping here. Amazon Fresh has one of the lowest prices at 49 cents a pound. You see they're compared with 79 cents at Target and 88 cents at Walmart. Other ways to save, consider buying turkey parts like the breast or legs instead of the whole bird. I know that's not the presentation value. Or you can buy a store brand turkey or go frozen instead of fresh. Just remember to defrost it.
With enough time.
I've done that turkey parts thing before, though. It really works, especially if it's like a smaller group, too. You don't want the whole turkey. It's great. It goes well with the canned cranberry sauce.
I love that cranberry.
With the ribs.
Jelly
the jelly.
Thank you so much, Alexis. It's time now for a check of the weather. And Samara Theodore, you are watching some flooding down there in Honduras.
Yeah, hurricane season is not over until November 30th, and the tropics are alive and well. This is Atlantida, Department, Honduras. This is the northern coast of Honduras here. You can just see how treacherous and catastrophic this rain has been for not only Honduras, but places like Belize. This is all due to Tropical Storm Sarah. They could pick 15 to 25 inches of rain up before it's all said and done. What happens next? Well, the tropical storm warning is in place until this system dies out over Mexico, after which it really kind of becomes a very disorganized region of tropical moisture, but that feeds into a cold front, and Florida gets that tropical rain from what's left of Sarah by Wednesday morning. I just want to say I am team canned cranberry sauce as well.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Join
Absolutely.
the team. Yes.
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, we've been preaching the canned cranberry sauce for years.
I love it. And oyster stuffing. Try it.
Nope.
Oh,
Pass
okay.
on
Well,
that.
that one we're going to have to talk about later. Thank you, Samara. All right, let's turn now to the main event last night in Texas, where 58-year-old former heavyweight champ Mike Tyson slugged it out in the ring with 27-year-old YouTuber turned boxer Jake Paul. ABC's Perry Russum joins us with the highlights. Perry, we didn't stay up late. We couldn't. Turns out that wasn't such a bad thing after all. The highlights speak for themselves.
I stayed up late, so don't worry about it. There was a lot of hype around this, a lot of talking, a documentary. But in the end, some fans were booing, saying they wanted more from this fight.
Jake Paul!
Overnight, Jake Paul defeating Mike Tyson in one of the most highly anticipated fights in recent memory. The fight going all 8 rounds, Paul winning by unanimous decision.
He's the GOAT. I look up to him. I'm inspired by him, and we wouldn't be here today without him.
It was Iron Mike's first sanctioned fight since 2005, when Paul, the YouTube personality turned boxer, was just 8 years old.
What is your assessment of Jake Paul, the boxer?
A very good fighter.
Paul is 27, Tyson is 58. Their 31-year age difference said to be the biggest age gap in professional boxing history. Tyson showing his age, not moving as fluid as he did decades ago, landing only 19% of his punches.
Father Time is unbeaten for a reason.
Originally scheduled as an exhibition, it became a sanctioned pro fight with modifications, shorter rounds and heavier gloves, lessening the power of the punches. Dramatics before the bout, from Tyson's slap during weigh-in to Paul's ear covering, mocking Tyson's infamous ear biting of Evander Holyfield.
So I got my diamond spiked ear covers right there.
Netflix apparently overwhelmed with viewers, causing streaming issues.
Over 120 million people on Netflix. We crashed the site.
Paul versus Tyson now available to watch globally on Netflix.
Do you feel like you proved the world wrong, that you could at least go 8 rounds with a younger man?
I didn't prove nothing to anybody, only to myself.
And then on the business side, Netflix is just getting started with live sporting events. They have 2 NFL games on Christmas. There were buffering issues, streaming issues throughout the night with everybody watching. So it looks like some issues have to be worked on in the next month, guys.
But
All
two
right.
NFL games on Christmas?
Yeah.
That's big.
2 of them. You're going to stay up for those.
No, but like that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can I just say Tyson at 58
Looks fantastic.
still looks amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough to enter a boxing ring, with a 27-year-old. He still looks good. Still
And Samara,
Iron
you
Mike.
stayed up.
I did. And, I have so much respect for Tyson. So, like you said, he's 58. He still held it together. He did the best he could in there. But
That's
the
really
moving
cute
wasn't
that
as
you're
fluid.
trying to play staying up late.
Yeah.
I just have so much respect for him. Yeah, girl.
I'm also really tired
she was doing her research for this segment.
Totally.
All right, Perry, thank you so much for your report there. And coming up here on GMA, we're going to dive deeper into President-elect Trump's choice of Robert Kennedy Jr. to head the Department of Health and Human Services.
Also ahead, a Georgia mom fighting charges, arrested after someone spotted her 10-year-old son walking to town all by himself.
And superhero Jason Derulo making one young music maker the surprise of his life.
How much do you love Jason Derulo? Welcome back to GMA on this Saturday morning. Of course, that singer-songwriter Jason Derulo, and he's seen many of his dreams come true with hits and fame and fortune. But coming up, we're going to show you how the music star paid it forward, taking time to make one special boy's wish become a reality. He is such a good guy every single time that he's here.
Seems to be.
So good, and so I'm glad that he's doing this. We're
Yes,
excited.
that's great story. Cool. Now let's take a look at some of the other big stories that we're following on this Saturday morning. Happening right now, growing fire danger. Red flag warnings for 43 million Americans across 8 states. The Northeast dangerously dry with wind gusts reigniting hotspots. Millions bracing for gusty winds and more fires. New Jersey Transit Police posting videos of a recent fire near commuter train tracks, warning anything can start a fire in these dry conditions, even a cigarette butt.
Important reminder. Also right now, a big night for USC star guard Juju Watkins. Just 4 games into her sophomore season, Watkins reaching 1,000 points in her NCAA career. That makes her the fastest Trojan to ever reach the milestone and the 4th fastest player in NCAA history to achieve that feat.
All right, I want you to take a look at this now, okay? That's police in Tacoma, Washington, sharing body cam footage from a hot pursuit earlier this week. You can see the officers chasing a rogue pig through a residential neighborhood.
Oh, the squirrels.
And in the end, the officers say this, quote, are you ready for this? Notorious PIG was safely captured and escorted off the streets.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Where bacon at?
Piggy.
Where the bacon? No,
at?
don't be talking about bacon now.
Like where Brooklyn at?
Piggy Smalls.
It was, ooh, that was good wit.
If you don't know, now you know. All right. We got a lot to get to this morning, and we're going to start this half hour with a closer look at Robert F. Kennedy Jr., President-elect Trump's choice to lead the Department of Health and Human Services. A number of groups on both sides of the political spectrum raising concerns, and ABC's Jay O'Brien is in Washington with more. Jay, good morning.
Good morning, Whit. President-elect Donald Trump has been clear he wants his pick to run HHS, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., to, quote, go wild on public health as Kennedy prepares day one plans that could impact millions of Americans.
This morning, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. promising massive changes and potentially significant turnover at federal public health agencies if he takes the helm of the Department of Health and Human Services.
In August 23rd of this year, God sent me Donald J. Trump.
The environmental lawyer also known to spread debunked claims that vaccines cause autism, telling Fox News this in 2023.
I do believe that autism does come from vaccines.
The idea sparked by a decades-old study that was retracted years ago. Multiple independent studies since have found no link between vaccines and autism. Kennedy pledging he doesn't want to take vaccines away, and despite his skepticism, has previously claimed he and his 7 children were fully vaccinated.
He's pushed misinformation on vaccines and saying that they're linked to autism. That's not a concern for you?
We'll have oversight. I think it just pushes the envelope, and that's what we need.
The one-time long-shot third-party presidential candidate dropping out this summer, endorsing Trump and entering his inner circle.
He's so into health and all. He's going to take care of women's health and men's health and your children's health.
Now, Kennedy's top priorities include tackling processed foods, including a proposed ban on additives like food dyes, changing the FDA's nutrition guidelines, pushing to end the practice of adding small amounts of fluoride to prevent tooth decay to Americans' drinking water. Kennedy claims fluoride, recommended for U.S. drinking water since 1962, is linked to low IQ and bone density issues. But the studies he references are preliminary and only looked at high levels of fluoride exposure, not the low levels currently recommended.
Now, Kennedy would still have to be confirmed by the Senate, which could be a rocky process given the controversial nature of this nomination. That is, unless Senate Republicans allow Trump to appoint him and potentially other cabinet picks through what are called recess appointments and sidestep the usual confirmation hearings and confirmation votes. Whit.
All right, Jay O'Brien for us, thank you very much. And joining us now with more on this is Dr. Ashish Jha, Dean of Brown University's School of Public Health and former White House COVID-19 response coordinator. Dr. Jha, good morning to you. It's good to have you back on the program. So voters chose to send Donald Trump back to the White House knowing that RFK Jr. would have a large role overseeing our nation's health. You've worked closely with prior HHS directors. What specifically concerns you about some of Kennedy's positions?
Yeah, good morning, Whit. Thanks for having me back. Yeah, look, presidents are afforded their leadership team, and President Trump should obviously be afforded that as well. This is a very concerning pick, a one that I think can potentially do a lot of harm to the American people. Previous HHS secretaries have left the big decisions of treatments and medical coverage of Medicare to experts. RFK Jr. holds a whole set of conspiratorial views about vaccines, about HIV, about medicines, that I really think if he tries to inundate or affect decision-making inside HHS with any of those ideas, I think it can end up being quite dangerous for the health of the American people.
So another thing that we discussed earlier is that he pushed to remove fluoride from public drinking water, even though it's been a practice for years. Many use toothpaste now with fluoride in it. Is it still necessary to have it in our drinking water? What is the latest guidance and debate on this issue?
Yeah, no, look, there's pretty good evidence here that at a basic level, I mean, you obviously can do too much, or you can do too little, but if you get the level right, which most places in America have, there is clear benefit in terms of reducing tooth decay. We have good evidence from Alaska recently. Alaska got rid of fluoride in water, and they saw a dramatic increase in dental caries in kids in the months and years that followed. So I think that evidence is very good, and I think that evidence is compelling for why we should continue keeping fluoride in water.
And you talked about some of the things that are more controversial, but some of his proposals are much less controversial and have contributed to his popularity. Things like improving nutrition standards, removing potentially harmful additives to food. Is that something where we could see some consensus in the medical community?
Now, look, a lot of us have been arguing for better foods, right? We have too much processed foods. Obviously, we have an obesity epidemic that's a real problem. I think the question that I wonder about is how are we going to make those decisions and who's going to make those decisions? The way we should be making those decisions is looking at the scientific evidence, the data, through analysis. And unfortunately, RFK Jr.'s track record on this is that he doesn't really adhere to those analyses. So if he lets the career scientists at the FDA and CDC make those decisions, great. I think that would be a good thing, and I think we'd all benefit from it. I just worry his track record, I think, raises a lot of concerns for us about how those decisions are going to get made.
All right, Dr. Jha, and again, there is a process here that he has to go through the confirmation. We'll see how that plays out. Dr. Jha, we thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you.
All right, a fascinating conversation there. Thanks to you both. Time now for another check of the weather. Samara Theodore is here. And Samara, oh, it is looking like ski season there in Maine.
Say it ain't snow, Gio. All right, so Sunday River, Maine. This is homemade snow. We've got them, it's been cold enough on the East Coast, at least in Maine, that is. And so they were able to generate that snow. Meanwhile, on the West Coast, they're getting it from Mother Nature. Take a look. Weekend storm moving through, prompting winter storm warnings in parts of Washington and Oregon. Winter weather advisories from Park City right up to Helena. Carolina. Winter storm watches in effect and wind advisories for places like Rapid City. Over the next 5 days, the storm moves in, bringing 1 to 2 feet of snow in some of the higher elevations. We could see anywhere from 6 to 12 inches of snow throughout the Rockies, and we're keeping a close eye on the severe weather in the south. I'm a little ready for winter season because I want to go to some of the ski resorts. I probably won't go skiing, but I want to do, like, you know, the cute photos with the hot chocolate.
That's what Gio likes to do.
You want the postcard. Yeah.
There you go, hot tub.
The story that's going to have everyone talking. The mother arrested after police say they spotted her son walking to town by himself. She's now facing charges, and ABC's Jacqueline Lee is following this story. Good morning, Jacqueline. An unbelievable story. What happened here? So many people, especially mothers, are going to be looking at this.
Oh, absolutely, Gio. Good morning. This mom says her son went on a 15 to 20-minute walk to the store. As a result, she was arrested, fingerprints and mugshots taken, and she faces potential jail time. She says she did nothing wrong.
Turn around for me. Why? Because you're under arrest.
This morning, the shocking arrest of a Georgia mother after her 10-year-old son walked to the store by himself.
What am I under arrest for? For reckless endangerment.
You can see the moment right here on police body camera. Brittany Patterson put into handcuffs by sheriff's deputies at the end of October in rural Mineral Bluff, Georgia.
I didn't really even know what I was being arrested for. I had to ask.
According to a Fannin County Sheriff's Office report, her son Soren, who has since turned 11, walked less than a mile into town to go to the Dollar General while Patterson took one of her children to the doctor. Authorities discovered him walking alone after getting a call from a concerned resident. Officials then dropped him off at home, according to the report.
He knows how to get home. He knows how to get there. So again, I wasn't concerned for his safety.
But 5 hours later, Patterson was arrested on suspicion of reckless conduct, which carries up to a year in jail.
Last time I checked, it wasn't illegal for a kid to walk to the store.
It is when they're 10 years old.
Her arrest warrant claiming she willingly and knowingly did endanger the bodily safety of her juvenile son. Her attorney disputes this.
Our criminal justice system is built on the fact that you did something criminally negligent. So what is it she did?
We spoke with the sheriff's office as well as Patterson and her attorney, who say the charges are not dropped. She is out on bail and waiting to be indicted. Now, a good rule of thumb for parents, of course, is check your state law for when a child can stay home alone. Whit.
All right, Jacqueline Lee, so many questions about this story. Follow this one closely.
It's a wild one.
Yeah.
Now it's superstar Jason Derulo teaming up with Make-A-Wish to make the dreams of a young musician from Wheaton, Illinois, that's near 815, making his dreams come true.
For 14-year-old Judah Favela, making music is a way of life.
It makes you feel heard and understood because it's literally you. Yeah.
It's given him an outlet to express himself, a talent that's carried him through his lifelong battle with cystic fibrosis.
Sometimes everything looks normal. Sometimes you spend a month in the hospital.
Music helping pass the time during this hospital stay when he was 11. Listen how he uses the sound of his medical equipment to make a beat. So it's no surprise, his one wish? To go to a professional music studio.
Oh my day.
And make music with the pros, a dream that the Make-A-Wish Foundation was able to make come true.
This is awesome.
Meeting some of his idols.
No way.
Like D.A. Got That Dope, who's produced for Tyga and Eminem. Judah showcasing some of his own work. The team helping him hone his craft.
I could already see it.
But little did he know, the real surprise would be from someone whose star power is known by just 2 words in his music.
Jason Derulo. Uh-oh. Hey, somebody's here. Oh! Hold on.
How you doing?
Good, you?
Oh, so good, so good. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah.
I was starstruck. I didn't really know what to feel because it didn't feel real. I'm in the Benz zone. Pull it up, I'm in his man's zone.
I heard his music for the first time and I was blown away by him just being 14 years of age. You know, there's a lot of people that kind of have a hobby, but Judah really lives and breathes music.
Jason even collaborating with Judah, lending his voice and talent to this song.
He just looks like he fits right in there, and he looks truly happy.
I believe that he's a fighter, but not only a fighter, he's a super creative. To me, I think this can be a start of a new journey.
Feels like all my life I was waiting for something. This is the most surreal thing I've ever been a part of. What just happened?
There's no way you didn't smile watching that.
That was amazing.
Yes, Derulo is releasing the song called Pick Up the Phone. He's also partnering with the Make-A-Wish Foundation and TikTok for a charitable performance on TikTok Live. Watch it on Jason's account this Tuesday, November 19th at 7 p.m. Eastern. Incredible because you could see that kid and how joyful he was, how much life
talented he is too, by the way.
And we're going to see so much more
Yeah.
of him, for sure. Go Judah. We'll be right back.
Good morning, America. It's our second hour. Trump transition. The once and future president announcing more White House picks as opposition to some of his choices builds. The growing number of Republicans who want to see the report from the congressional investigation of Matt Gaetz. Will it come down to a subpoena? Plus, reaction from the medical community on Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and his positions on public health.
Also this morning, women and menopause. How you can stay strong with exercise and the right diet. Expert tips on minimizing muscle loss.
Plus, holiday workout hacks to keep the whole family on track. From the airport to grandma's house, fun exercise moves you can do wherever you are.
And just in time for holiday shopping, Oprah's favorite things, Deals and Steals edition. Tori Johnson is here with O Magazine creative director Adam Glassman.
And everybody wants this show.
If I tell you something, I need you to swear on your life you're never going to repeat it to anyone.
Justine Lupe is live on GMA talking about her hit show Nobody Wants This, her daughter, and so much more. As we say, good morning, America.
It's Saturday morning. This is GMA.
It is GMA. Good morning, America. So good to see you on this Saturday, and we are so excited for Justine Lupe.
This is going to be fun.
This is one of my favorite new shows. We know her, of course, from Succession, but her new show, Nobody Wants This, is getting lots of love, very binge-worthy, and her character, Morgan, is really one of my favorite characters, so I can't wait for this.
Yep, definitely looking forward to that. Also ahead this morning, President-elect Donald Trump has been quickly naming key members of his second administration, some of those picks drawing intense scrutiny.
We'll get to that in just a moment, but we do begin with an update on the Idaho college killings case. Attorneys for Bryan Kohberger, the former grad student accused of killing 4 Idaho college students just over 2 years ago, they're trying to get some key evidence against him thrown out. ABC's Zoreen Shaw is here now with the details. Zoreen, good morning.
Janae, Bryan Kohberger isn't set to go on trial until August. That date has been pushed back several times already. And now Kohberger's lawyers are saying that authorities violated his constitutional rights in gathering evidence to build their case against him. In more than 100 pages of filings made public overnight, defense lawyers describe what they say was a needlessly aggressive law enforcement raid to capture Kohberger just after Christmas in 2022. Kohberger was visiting his parents in Pennsylvania 6 weeks after the murders. Defense attorneys argue that officers did not properly advise Kohberger of his constitutional rights and were working with faulty warrants when taking the former criminology PhD student into custody. Therefore, anything he said to arresting officers, the DNA swab taken, pictures of his body, and the search and seizure of his car should be inadmissible at trial. Kohberger's lawyers also argue that investigators' use of investigative genetic genealogy to link him to the gruesome murders violates his rights. And without that, they say prosecutors have no case. This week, the families of victims, Ethan Chapin, Xana Kernodle, Maddie Mogan, and Kaylee Gonzalez, marked 2 years without their loved ones. All 4 stabbed to death in an off-campus apartment. Ethan's family telling ABC News, it seems like a long time ago, and it also feels like yesterday. Prosecutors who are seeking the death penalty have not yet filed a response to the defense arguments. Kohberger has pleaded not guilty. Gio.
A lot to watch there, Zoreen. Thank you so much. Now to the Trump transition. The president-elect is rapidly filling positions for his second administration, and some choices, of course, are facing scrutiny. ABC's Mary Alice Parks has more from Washington now. Good morning, Mary Alice.
Yeah, Gio, good morning. Even some Republican senators clearly want more information about former Congressman Matt Gaetz in particular. He was nominated to be Trump's attorney general, and there are real questions about whether he and some of Trump's other picks will be able to get through the Senate confirmation process.
This morning, a growing number of Republican senators making it clear they want to see the House Ethics Committee report into Trump's pick for Attorney General Matt Gaetz. The bipartisan committee was investigating Gaetz for allegations of illicit drug use and sexual misconduct. Sources telling ABC a woman testified he had sex with her when she was only 17, and a lawyer representing another woman telling us his client testified she witnessed it. Gaetz calling the allegations invented and saying it would constitute false testimony to Congress.
I have not had a relationship with a 17-year-old. That is totally false.
Sources telling us the committee was preparing to vote to release that report as early as this week. But then Gaetz resigned from Congress after being nominated by Trump, abruptly ending their investigation. House Speaker Mike Johnson on Friday, after spending the night at Mar-a-Lago with President-elect Trump, arguing now the report should be shelved.
I believe it is very important to maintain the House's tradition of not issuing ethics reports on people who are no longer members of Congress.
Still, it is senators who have the constitutional power to consent or not to a president's picks, and several now saying they want to see what the House investigators found. Texas Senator John Cornyn even suggesting he's ready to issue a subpoena for it. Trump also filling out his West Wing team, announcing that his campaign's communications director, Stephen Chung, will come to the White House in that same role. Chung, who was with Trump during his first term too, is known for hurling insults at Trump's critics and often uses offensive language. Trump also choosing Caroline Leavitt from his campaign to be his press secretary. She is only 27 years old.
And we're also seeing increased concern from the medical community over the nomination of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to lead the Department of Health and Human Services. The American Academy of Pediatrics saying that the nomination is an opportunity to share the settled science on vaccines with government leaders as well as the American public. Kennedy has been a well-known vaccine skeptic.
Mary Alice Parks, thank you. Overnight, some frightening moments as a bullet strikes a Southwest Airlines flight about to take off from Dallas Love Field Airport. The plane was getting ready to depart for Indianapolis when officials say gunfire struck its right side near the cockpit. The Boeing aircraft safely taxiing back to the gate where passengers were able to deplane. The airline saying no one was injured.
Good news there. Turning now to college football, ESPN's College Game Day is in Athens for the top 10 matchup between Georgia and Tennessee. Let's bring in Jess Sims with the preview. Jess, good morning. The fans are there with you.
Good morning, Janae. I mean, Athens is the place to be this morning and kind of always, if I'm being honest. But it's week 12 and College Game Day. We have another jam-packed show today. We have amazing conversation about the college football playoff, who we think is in, who we think is out. Georgia's head coach Kirby Smart is joining the desk. Pat McAfee is trying to give away $150,000 for his field goal kicking contest. And our guest picker, celebrity guest picker today is Cody Rhodes, who is a WWE superstar. It's all happening on ESPN at 9 a.m. Eastern. But the reason we're here is because we have a must-win game for the Tennessee Volunteers and the Georgia Bulldogs. Yes, for sure. Now, we're here because Tennessee has one loss, a huge upset by Arkansas, and Georgia has two, despite a tougher schedule against Alabama and most recently Ole Miss. But the Georgia Bulldog fans are super excited to have their team back home because they have the longest active winning streak. They are 28-0 at home. It's the longest one right now across the country. It's also, according to Vivid Seats, the hottest ticket this week. On average, each seat is selling for about $439. So that's the highest across any game this week. Honestly, one of the highest across the teams this year. And it's all happening on ABC tonight at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, streaming on ESPN+.
So much to look forward to. Jess, please send our love to all those fans and to Desmond. Tell him we miss him, but we'll see him next week.
Perfect. I got you.
Still coming up here on GMA, our GMA cover story, staying strong during menopause. What women can do to fight muscle loss. Good tips ahead.
And the exciting Oscars host reveal, Conan O'Brien set to take the stage on Hollywood's biggest night.
And coming up, get ready for some special deals and steals. Tori Johnson and Adam Glassman are here with some sweet savings on Oprah's favorite things.
Welcome back. Turning now to something every woman experiences in their lifetime, menopause. Dr. Gabrielle Lyon, board-certified family physician and New York Times bestselling author of the book Forever Strong, a new science-based strategy for aging well, joins us to talk about the importance of maintaining muscle mass as you go into menopause. It's so great to have you here, Dr. Lyon. We literally just had to push the boys off set because Gio and Whit are so excited to talk about her. You've changed all of our lives by putting protein first.
Yep.
And now we're talking about how to apply all of this to menopause. Let's start with the basics. How does menopause affect women's bodies?
Well, first of all, menopause affects every part of a woman's body. And just like you said, it's coming, whether it's coming like Christmas and tax day, so we better be prepared for it. And our best defense is going to be supporting the health of skeletal muscle. A woman might lose 10% of their muscle mass throughout
really significant.
Yes, throughout their menopause transition. And that is one of the things that I always hear women talk about. Middle belly weight gain.
Yeah.
Loss of muscle mass. They don't feel as strong. Do you know bone density is one of the things that they lose during that time of transition?
It is very fascinating. I'm not quite there yet, but that's why I want to know all of this information too. So what kind of type of exercise can you do to fight that loss of muscle?
It is not inevitable, which is really important to understand.
Okay.
The loss of muscle mass.
Yeah.
So when a woman goes through menopause, you want to build as much muscle as possible going into menopause.
So before that?
Yes. So right now, we're going to do burpees after this. We're on it. And what we're going to do about it is we are going to change and transition the way that we eat and the way that we train to maintain muscle mass. So we are going to strength train 2 to 3 times a week, full body. It is non-negotiable and not replaceable.
Wow. So strength training multiple times a week, non-negotiable.
2 to 3 times, easy.
Non-replaceable. How about adjusting your diet to maintain
Also
muscle
critical.
mass?
You cannot maintain skeletal muscle mass without the proper building blocks, and that is dietary protein. And one would understand that right now, the average American eats around 68 grams of protein a day, the average female. You need closer to 1 gram per pound ideal body weight. So a minimum of 100 grams of protein.
So we're eating, on average, about half as much protein as we need to.
We're not optimized for healthy aging.
Okay.
Because actually we need more protein as we age.
Yeah.
Especially women, especially to protect their muscle mass.
Okay. I follow you on Instagram, so I've been hearing this. Thinking about the protein first in meals and the strength training, so important, especially in the 30s as women are heading into that time, into the 40s and menopause.
You know, and really simple things to do. You can have a protein shake. You can have 6 ounces of chicken, eggs, egg whites, Greek yogurt, lean beef. There's multiple choices, but you have to make sure that you execute and you keep that standard for yourself.
Yes, I'm starting it with breakfast. 4 eggs, fewer carbs, thanks to you. Thank you so much, Dr. Lyon. Now over to Samara for another check of the weather.
All right, so we've been talking a lot about these wildfires. This is video footage of the Sterling State Forest, New York. We have the Jennings Creek fire, 90% contained, so that's good news. What we need, though, is more rain, and it's not coming this weekend. So red flag warnings are still in place from New England down to parts of New Jersey and Pennsylvania there. Fire weather watch for parts of Pennsylvania. We are in a rain deficit. I mean, look at the Northeast where you're seeing that dark shade of orange. We're up to 9 inches below the norm. This is in the last 2 months. Like I said, we need the rain. It's on the way. We do have about a ½ an inch coming by the middle of the week. Wednesday into Thursday, we could see some rain in the Northeast.
You know, Janae just finished that great conversation with Dr. Gabrielle Lyon about protein, and you're bringing ice cream?
Okay, that's what the doctor was for, and I'm here for the ice cream. We all check different boxes around here, people. Yeah.
What's in the pop news?
All right, the countdown to Oscar Sunday is officially on with the big reveal of the sole host of the 97th Academy Awards, Conan O'Brien, and this will be Conan's first time hosting Hollywood's biggest night. I can't believe that. He has hosted the Emmys before in the past, twice though. The fan fave comedian reacted to the big news like this.
This is incredible. I've been handed an Oscar. I'm an Oscar winner. It's amazing. Host. Oh, I'm hosting.
Yes.
I'm an Oscar host.
Exactly.
Oh, but do I still get to keep the Oscar?
No.
Oh.
The Academy Awards will air right here on ABC Sunday, March 2nd. I think he's the perfect choice for this. He's never done it before, so it'll feel fresh, but he does bits so well, and he's sort of non-political. I think it's going to be an excellent show.
All right. I like it. Yep.
All right, now to new clues as we search for the next James Bond. Following Daniel Craig's 5-film stint as 007, the franchise producers Barbara Broccoli and Michael G. Wilson opening up about their search for the next super spy. The duo telling the AP before the Governor's Awards in Hollywood this weekend that the next James Bond, quote, will be a man. He'll likely be in his 30s. Whiteness is not a given. And whoever says yes is doing so with the expectation of at least a decade's worth of films. The rumor prior to this was that Aaron Taylor Johnson was tapped to play 007, but with this new information, I have reassessed. I've crunched the numbers. Here are the new top contenders. 36-year-old Bridgerton star Regé-Jean Page. 37-year-old Henry Golding from Crazy Rich Asians. 30-year-old Aaron Pierre from Mufasa and Rebel Ridge. And 34-year-old Slumdog Millionaire actor Dev Patel. But one more name should be on your list, people. 39-year-old morning TV hunk, Gio Benitez.
Please.
Oh my God. And time out for anyone who's going to say, well, why didn't you include Wit? You aged out.
That's right.
He said in the 30s.
Yes.
I crunched the numbers. Gio, would you say yes? Would you say yes? I floated your name.
I'll say yes, but that means I can't eat this ice cream.
All right. No, well, then put it on pause. Finally, we're starting the Thanksgiving feast a little early on GMA this morning with a little turkey stuffing and cranberry sauce ice cream. Salt and Straw has debuted a 5-course Thanksgiving ice cream feast featuring 5 flavors that are meant to be
excited until you said that.
In order, from Parker House rolls with salted buttercream to sweet potato casserole to turkey stuffing and cranberry sauce to mom's mango pie and finally pumpkin pie tiramisu. If you're looking for a Thanksgiving ice cream feast of your own, all of these flavors from Salt and Straw are available now for nationwide shipping. So this is the turkey stuffing and cranberry sauce, and this is the tiramisu pumpkin.
Oh, the tiramisu pumpkin is
I'm into the tiramisu.
So I tried this the other day in person, and I said, I got to bring these back to my friends.
It tastes like turkey.
I'm not okay with it. I'm not okay.
We got 1 and 1.
But
one
the
and
pumpkin
one.
tiramisu.
Yeah, not bad. All right.
Yeah, I like it. All right. Will Gans, thank you very much.
Thank you, Whit
Thank you for
Johnson.
the Gio Benitez beach photo, too. We
course.
appreciate that.
Any
We're going to
excuse.
head on over here. Deals and Steals. Tori Johnson is joining us now. Yeah, I'm going to walk off that ice cream featuring Oprah's favorite things. We also have Adam Glassman, creative director of Oprah Daily. Good morning to you both, guys.
Hello.
Welcome.
We're excited to be here with you.
Keep calm and mashed potatoes. I love it. We all need that.
This is great. We all need this. Santa Barbara Design. This is ready for gifting. Look at this cute book. Inside, everything you need to make the creamiest mashed
Perfect. All the
potatoes and a
tools.
recipe. But all of these books have interests that you like. So you can make cookies. You could do drinks, you could do barbecuing, you name it.
Tea.
We have this tea one
every single
here.
set. They're all slashed in half, and they start at $8.
I know.
Wow,
There's something
okay.
for everyone.
Perfect.
Just add a card. Who doesn't love a new knife set at Christmas?
Lots of
or if you
carving
have a
through the
new-
holidays, yes.
Of course. If you have a new house you want to gift this, Messermeister makes handcrafted knives that are just beautiful, durable. They last a lifetime. You name it, we have it. We have the big set of 10. We have smaller sets. We have even ones that fold up if you're an outdoor adventure seeker and you like to camp and cook outside.
Actually, yeah. Who doesn't like Thanksgiving outside?
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. And these are all slashed in half, starting at $25.
Okay.
Excellent. Oh, this is what I've been eyeing all morning
Have you?
long.
This
What are we
this
talking
is
about
called
here?
the Cheese and Thank You gift set from Morning
Yes.
Rays. You get all of this in your gift set. You get 4 different kinds of cheeses, including their brand new truffle brie that they created for us.
Am I allowed to eat this right
Yes,
now?
you are.
Yes.
It is
for
all
Oprah.
fresh.
That's-
You
yeah.
get the crackers, you get a fruit spread, and you get a beautiful cheese knife.
Wow.
This is a luxurious,
I'm skipping the
sophisticated
knife.
gift. Okay, skip the knife. Wait till you see how good that is.
Phenomenal.
I know. Also makes a great
approved.
grilled
Now,
cheese.
Wit approved.
I know.
Wow.
Exactly.
This is a really great deal because you get the whole, it comes in a gorgeous gift box, ready to serve, slashed in half, $47.50.
Oh my gosh.
Really
if the rest of it
beautiful.
is anywhere close to that, I'm in.
It's
I'm in.
phenomenal.
You're in.
It's phenomenal. Who doesn't love their dogs? We all love their our dogs. Pride and Groom makes the greatest dog grooming products. Shampoos are fabulous. Scents are incredible. All human grade. This year's selection on favorite things is you get this mitt and this waterless dry shampoo.
Okay.
In between groomings, you use this. You just spray it on here. So this fluffy side is for the coat. This side is for more delicate areas like your face and the paws. And it just 1, 2, 3 of a
Suddenly
wonderful
dogs love
scent.
bath time.
I know.
Yeah.
Suddenly they love
I
bath
just
time.
gave my dog a bath.
And
I'm
you
like,
love
we're ready
the
for some
scent.
new tools.
The scent
Yes.
is phenomenal.
It
That's
is.
my favorite part, but I also love that it's 50% off starting at $10.
Excellent.
Okay. Now
What's up next?
Your girls are going to love this. This is called Super Smalls. These are crafting activities that kids can do on their own, make their own necklaces and bracelets. bracelets.
That is-
Moms love to participate. Look at this cute set, sunglass set. You gemify it yourself. You
But
see
also,
right
like,
here.
I think moms could wear these things. Look at this.
Oh, for
Andrea
sure.
could rock
Oh,
these.
yeah.
Like, the girls and the moms can share.
Oh,
They're
friendship
so much
bracelets,
fun.
too.
Friendship
Yep.
bracelets. Every kit is fabulous. They're all slash and half, starting at $9.
Excellent.
And then the most
at
incredible
this.
bath products from Musi. You have to look at this. Look at this great house right here. It opens up, and inside you have bath bombs.
Oh, perfect.
You have an eye mask. You name it.
So good.
The smell is incredible. The packaging is gorgeous.
You might
The
have
shower
gifted,
steamers are
You might
great.
have gifted bombs, shower bombs, bath bombs before, never in boxes like
Ever,
this. The
ever.
packaging is phenomenal.
Yep.
You know what else is phenomenal with? The price. Because all of these are slash and half. They start at $12.
Love it. Slash and half. Thank you so much, Adam,
Yeah.
Tori. Always a pleasure. Great to have you. Of course, we've partnered with all of these companies. You can find each deal on our website, goodmorningamerica.com. We haven't hit Thanksgiving yet, but people around the country are already getting into the holiday spirit, including 14-month-old Ellis, whose odd reaction to the Christmas decor in his local Target is going viral on TikTok. Take a look.
This is a new tone.
And wow is obviously one of his
That's
new
still my
words.
reaction, by the way.
Ellis's mom, Victoria, explained that her son was a newborn last Christmas, so this was his first time seeing and appreciating all those lit up Christmas trees.
No wonder that video racking up over 2 million views since she posted it a few days ago. I think that reaction puts Ellis on Santa's nice list, don't you think?
It's like about having little babies. You get to. It's the first time for everything. You get to enjoy
I think
it
we're
all.
done having babies.
Oh, we're done.
My family.
We're done. It's
We love
just
the
a
babies.
joy. You're getting started.
Especially
here?
that
I'm
baby.
done before I'm started.
Look at Ellis.
We'll be back.
Good morning, America. We're just days away from the CMA Awards, and I can't wait for you to see what we've got in store.
All right, welcome back. That is two-time CMA Entertainer of the Year winner and country music superstar Luke Bryan, and you heard him right there. The countdown is on. Luke is returning to the stage for the 4th year in a row alongside Peyton Manning and Lainey Wilson. That should be fun, right? All hosting the 58th Annual CMA Awards, which airs Wednesday, November 20th at 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on ABC. Very exciting.
really
Show.
exciting.
It's a good combo. All right, now to some of the top headlines we're following right now. NASA raising concerns about a chronic oxygen leak on board the International Space Station. The station has been leaking air for 5 years. NASA is worried it's a sign of structural problems at the ISS, but the Russian Space Agency disagrees. NASA does not believe the crew on board is in any immediate danger.
Country soul singer Sundance Head is recovering this morning after his agent says he accidentally shot himself in the stomach while reaching for his gun Friday. The artist, who became known as a semifinalist on American Idol and then a winner on The Voice, is said to be stable after he was airlifted to a Texas hospital by helicopter.
And we're wishing him the best. And if you thought last night's full moon looked a little extra special, you weren't wrong. The bigger and brighter than normal Beaver moon reached its full phase at 4:29 p.m. on Friday. It's the last supermoon of the year. So
Not only that, but I think the last supermoon for the next 12 years, not that I was checking
Yeah,
the,
well,
you know,
we have our own little
astrology and
astrologer over here.
That's right, yeah. The universe
coven.
signs, yes.
But check out the moon. I just saw it this morning, so you can keep saying,
Beautiful.
yeah, it's so gorgeous. All right, we are back now with Justine Lupe. You know her from Succession and The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Now she's starring in the hit show Nobody Wants This as Kristen Bell's sister, Morgan. Good morning.
Welcome.
We're really excited to have you.
We're so
I'm really
excited.
to be here.
I was telling you, I binged this with Tommy. We were watching this. We couldn't stop watching it. We couldn't stop laughing. We love this
Yay.
show.
That's great to hear.
And we're already looking forward to season 2. So first of all, like, how is it being on this hit show right now? And what can you tell us about season 2?
I mean, it's great. It's so fun. I you know, you always like hope that people will love a show. And as we were shooting it, I thought it was really heartwarming and sweet. But like the fact that it's become this kind of like zeitgeist sensation, like everybody's watching it, is really exciting. So
Yeah,
that's
everybody
fun.
wants this,
Yeah,
right?
everybody wants it. And yeah, we start shooting like early February, late January. So
Yeah, it's coming up. And in terms of like what to look forward to, I just did like a kind of meet and greet with the new writers' room, and there's some really, really fun stuff coming up. I obviously can't tell you any of that stuff, but
all right,
fun stuff though. We'll take
it's
we'll
fun.
take that.
Like as big as that is.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Some of the writers from Girls, which is really exciting, right? I loved that show.
Me and you both.
Yeah,
so
right?
good. I
Okay,
know.
so, and the chemistry on set, especially between Kristen Bell, Adrian Brody, you and Timothy Simmons, it's off the charts. Let's take a look at this clip.
If I tell you something, I need you to swear on your life you're never going to repeat it to anyone, okay? Not Noah, not Esther, like nobody.
100%. I just need to let you know I've never actually successfully kept a secret before, so keep that in mind before you tell me.
Great, okay. Well, so I ran into Rebecca last week.
Oh, okay, that is juicy.
Yes, and I talked to her. Well, Julie talked to her.
Okay, who's Julie?
I'm Julie, but Rebecca didn't know
Right.
that. Okay, anyway, she basically told me that her and Noah are getting back together.
What? No way. No, Noah would have told me. He tells me everything. I'm like his rabbi. Although, wait, what if he's hiding that from me?
So good. So everybody's been talking about the chemistry here, and with this relationship too, some people see it as a friendship. Some might want to see it become more than that, perhaps. Where do you see this going?
I mean, obviously I trust the writers with whatever they decide to do, but my instinct is that they're so fun as this like odd friendship, and that there's nothing really that funny about destroying a family, and he has a child, so it's a little bit of a darker version where it's like, okay, like the idea of that is kind of like fun, and then you hit the reality of it, and it's like, ooh, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I hope they kind of keep up this like weird oddball friendship, because I think there's a lot to be mined out of that, you know?
I love how you call each other the loser siblings.
Yeah, totally.
So you have a sibling, obviously, in Kristen Bell, but in real life, you also have a brother. Is his name Colin?
Yeah, Colin.
So what's Justine like as a sister versus Morgan?
I think that our similarities are I'm like very protective in the way that she's protective. I feel like a little bit of a mother bear with him. I'm also probably a little bit like crossing boundaries in terms of like giving advice in the way that Morgan does. But we really get along, a lot less drama than these two, a lot less like fighting. I can't remember the last like big blowout that we've had, you know, whereas these girls, they know how to fight. So yeah, it's a more like smooth running
That
friendship.
physical comedy, is that there?
We have fun with each other. We have fun. And also he's a camera, he's a DP and he's a camera op. So it's also kind of, and we work together. So that kind of like friendship / colleague relationship that they have with the podcast, we also work together sometimes, which is really cool.
Oh,
yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So we were talking because you just had a baby.
I did.
Little baby.
Congratulations,
yes,
by the way.
Congratulations.
Yes.
It's huge. 3 months ago, now you're back to work. You posted on Instagram about your experience being a mom, and you said that women need to see this narrative, that it's not all over when you have a baby.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, there's such a fear that when you get pregnant or when you have a child, it's like over, or that the industry's not going to be supportive of it. And I think there's good reason. I think there's like a long history of that being problematic. Yeah. But I do feel like my experience on this set was just incredibly positive. Everybody was really supportive. It's also just an amazing thing because you're pregnant, so you have this like creative energy going, and then you can bring that to the work. And I just had the best time being pregnant on set. It was awesome. So I feel like people should hear, you know, that it can be really great.
Absolutely. And sharing that, so helpful for so many people. I do want to mention, though, you've been on this amazing run. How difficult it is for actors to end up on these incredible shows. You've been on Succession, Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, now this.
Knocking on wood.
What's next for you?
Oh, God, I don't know. Isn't that the fun of it, though? I mean, it's like the thing that's like incredibly destabilizing as an actor is you never know what's coming next, but it's also the thing that makes it the most exciting and keeps like the life force behind it is that you're like, I don't know what's next. So there's just so many incredible creatives out there. I just hope something like I've really like hit a run of like really great material, and I just hope that continues wherever that may be. I don't know.
Well, you're on fire. That's for sure.
Thanks, guys. That's very generous.
Do you know where Willa, your character from Succession, would be right now?
Oh, God. She's probably writing some, you know, maybe she made it to the president's, like, office after all. Maybe, like, there was some weird turn. No matter what, she's probably writing some weird, funky piece. And, like, that's the joy of Willa. She's always, like, deep in, like, whatever, you know,
thing she's
Yeah,
into.
essay or play or whatever. She's writing something bonkers for sure. So, yeah.
Well, Justine, you are such a pleasure. Thank you for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And Nobody Wants This is streaming right now on Netflix.
Now, with an ABC News investigation, the case of the mysterious death of Karen Silkwood, a single mother who was allegedly about to blow the whistle on the energy company where she worked. A new podcast garnering renewed interest in the case, sparking the question, how did Karen Silkwood really die? Our ABC's Aaron Katursky has more.
It was a Hollywood blockbuster starring Meryl Streep.
They're killing me. They're trying to kill me. They want me to stop what I'm doing.
Loosely based on the true story of Karen Silkwood, who raised the alarm about what she says she saw working at a nuclear plant in Oklahoma.
She was on her way to deliver documents to a New York Times reporter about radiation exposure in the plutonium plant.
She was blowing the whistle on the company that we believe, led to her death.
She was allegedly on her way to deliver highly sensitive documents to a New York Times reporter, and she told people she had evidence of lax safety procedures inside the plant where workers were being contaminated with radiation. But she never made the meeting.
The documents have disappeared. The mystery, what caused the crash?
Authorities at the time claimed she lost control of her car after falling asleep, pointing to the prescription sedatives found in her system, her car smashing into a concrete wall along the highway. But a private investigator working with Karen's union theorized something more sinister.
There's enough circumstantial evidence there to indicate that another vehicle may have hit the car in the rear.
Now, an ABC News investigation breathing new life into a case gone cold in the new podcast Radioactive, the Karen Silkwood Mystery.
Wow. My God. Holy mackerel, there's black stuff in it still.
This new physical piece of evidence, the bumper from Karen's wrecked car, recently unearthed, and now a critical part of a new scientific investigation, along with boxes of unearthed audio tapes.
Right here, Bobby.
What'd you find?
It says Silkwood investigation tapes. Here they are.
Here they are.
These are audio tapes.
As a younger generation takes renewed interest in just what happened on that deserted and darkened Oklahoma highway 50 years ago.
Are you ready for a mystery?
Karen's own voice in this recording of a phone conversation. She tells a friend about the work conditions inside the plant where she and others handled plutonium and enriched uranium.
We've got 18 and 19-year-old boys, and 20 and 21. And they didn't have the schooling, so they don't understand what radiation is. I'm going to shut them down before I go.
The unanswered questions about her sudden death continue to haunt many, including her son, who recently returned to the crash site.
For them, the story ends at the end of the Silkwood movie. As her son, I would like to have a definitive answer of what really took place. We don't want to speculate for the rest of our lives.
For Good Morning America, Aaron Katursky, ABC News, Crescent, Oklahoma.
Really a fascinating case, yeah. For more on ABC's investigation into Karen Silkwood's death and what the newly unearthed audio recordings might reveal, follow the new podcast, Radioactive, the Karen Silkwood Mystery, wherever you get your podcasts. Now let's go back to Samara for another check of the weather. Good morning.
Good morning. Take a look at this awesome time lapse of the full beaver moon in Basalt Mountain, Colorado. It is just absolutely magnificent there. Now, speaking of the Rockies, things are going to get a little active out there. We've got the storm moving in, winter storm warnings for parts of Washington State, Oregon, winter weather advisories for places like Park City. So we've got the snow in the northwest. In the middle of the country, Texas, we're tracking the threat for severe storms. Not only could we see these storms on Sunday and Monday, but they could come with tornadoes. So keep that in mind if you live in places like San Angelo, Dallas, and Waco.
Stick around here with us on GMA. We slingshot Geo into a tiny T because the holiday workout hacks that you need are coming up so you can do that workout no matter where the festivities
Geo's
are.
got the guns out and the sun ain't out.
All right, welcome back here to GMA. The holiday season is here, and that can make it hard to stick with an exercise routine. But our guests here, they are going to show us how to keep moving, even if you're traveling or you're really low on time, on schedule. Olympic runner Colleen Quigley making her GMA debut right now, and Peloton instructor Cody Rigsby here. And they are all decked out in the new Disney Lululemon collection. So we can get active here. So welcome to you both.
Thanks for having us.
All right, so let's start.
I'm going to get you started. So we're going to start by sitting down.
Okay.
These are some exercises. I got 2 things for you that you can do if you're on a plane or sitting waiting for your plane.
That's so important on a plane.
Yep,
yeah.
I just came from LA, so I was doing these. You bet I was doing these. So we're gonna start with some ankle rolls. You're just gonna pick your foot up off the ground, a little bit to the right, a little bit to the left. The blood flow while you're sitting down.
It's so important.
Big
I
issue.
just sprained my ankle, so this is perfect.
This is key for you. So you can do some ankle pumps. Make sure you hit both sides. And then the other one you can do sitting down is just take a little figure 4 stretch like this. So you got your foot on top of the opposite knee.
Yeah.
And you can, especially tight on those.
I'm feeling that after leg day yesterday. So.
Press down on that knee a little bit. Just be gentle with yourself, but kind of really get into it. You can also lean forward a bit to make it more intense. So yeah, those are 2 things you can do if you're on the plane or waiting for planes, trains, and automobiles, that type of thing, over the holidays.
All right, awesome. Cody, what you got?
All right, let's jump into a hit circuit. I got 3 movements for you. Everyone's favorite. We're gonna start with a push-up, okay? So let's be on our bellies on the ground, hands outside of our chest, step into the ball of our foot, and push through your hands.
I've never started it that way.
It's great. And then you want to listen. I'm an advocate of making sure your chest hits the ground, okay? Then we're going to pop up to our feet, legs hip width apart. We're going to take it to a right angle and then push through our heels and squeeze our booties for a nice squat. If you want to make that harder, you can take the top of the squat to a calf raise or jump it out, okay? Then we're gonna come back down to an elbow plank for core. Keep those hips down. Keep the hips down. No booties up, hips down. Hold your core, okay? So we're gonna take all 3 of those movements. We're gonna do them 30 seconds each. Then we're gonna do a 30-second recovery 5 times for a 10-minute fierce workout you can do anywhere.
Okay, you can do that anywhere.
Yes.
All right. What else you got?
That was amazing.
What? Do you want to do them all together?
Let's do it.
All right, let's go for it. Let's hit those push-ups, Gino. And then we're going to jump back up and do those air squats. 3, 2, 1. Let's hit it. Come on.
Oh, see, I got.
See?
Here we go. Here's what we're going to do.
With that jump in,
You got to watch out for that mic pack. There we go. And then take it back to the elbow plank. Let's go.
All right.
Hips down. See, you're already out of breath. What a great distraction if your family annoys you these holidays, okay?
You guys are so much fun. Thank you so much. Colleen, we made your first time good?
Yeah.
All right, first time on GMA. Cody, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And we should tell you that you can shop all of these products on goodmorningamerica.com right now. They're also available on Lululemon's website, thedisneystore.com, and at select Disney Store locations.
You got your mic back after the
did.
intense workout. He's going to be okay, folks.
And my
ABC
heart
News Live Weekend programming, streaming channel. We'll see you there. I'll be there. See you in a bit. Samara will be there. Bye, guys.